Hi, I'm Robert Caro. I write books on history, and I've been asked to talk for a couple of minutes about the newest phenomenon in American history, Donald Trump. I guess what I'd like to say is at this moment, in early July, he seems to be falling in the polls, but I think it would be a real mistake to underestimate him based on that, because history tells us we shouldn't underestimate him. History is full of demagogues who rise, and sometimes rise to the very heights of power by appealing to things that are unfortunately part of human nature. Racism, which I think is a part of all of us, no matter how hard we try to overcome it, and that excessive virulent patriotism that goes by the name xenophobia. And Trump has proven himself to be a real master of appealing to those elements in human nature. And he's also a master of the media that makes so much a difference in election. Television and social media. He may be a malevolent master of it, but he's a master. Think about when he called Jeb Bush, low energy Jeb Bush. It was such a perfect phrase, mean and cruel as it was, that I have trouble looking at Jeb Bush ever since without seeing the words low energy in front of him. So, in Donald Trump, we have a demagogue who's very skilled in tapping into these elements of human nature that are close to the surface. And every so often a demagogue comes along who can bring them bubbling up to the surface. That's what we're seeing here. At this moment, he's falling, let's say he's falling in the polls, but it's early July. There are 4 months to the election, and a lot can happen in those 4 months. And we're talking about a candidate who has a knack, a facility. It's an evil knack, an evil facility. He's a master, but a malevolent master, of using those forms of media for the cutting phrase that reverberates, as I said, like low energy Jeb Bush or little Marco. So nobody should assume that nobody should assume that our country is too pure to be have a large number of people attracted by an appeal to those elements of human nature. That's why I feel it's a real mistake to underestimate him. America has strengths, and it's really the strengths of a democratic society that you think have always in the past, and you think will now protect us from the influence of a demagogue. But I think it's a real mistake to count too much on that. Thanks. Also, there's a lot of anger in this country. There's a lot of anger in America in 2016. And a lot of that anger is justified. There are a lot of people, millions of people, who have lost their jobs. They're not all that old. Let's say they're 50 years old. They've lost their jobs, and they fear they're never going to work again. That anger is justified. So not only do we have to be aware of the danger of a candidate tapping into that anger, but we have to make sure that we have a platform, that our candidate has a platform, and that we have a candidate who believes in addressing the concerns that lie underneath that anger. That's it.